imperfections made me who I am. I've got quite a long, sort of bulky neck, and I've got a big nose, and I'm flat-chested.
She couldn't talk in castings. Not because she didn't want to. She was just that shy. But somehow, without saying a word, Erin O'Connor became one of the most iconic supermodels in high fashion. But behind the scenes, the pressure was breaking her, and soon she disappeared from the spotlight. How did a girl who didn't fit the mold end up redefining it and vanishing?
I think I kind of represented a bit of an anarchic change by accident. I was really shy inside growing up as a teenager.
It's hard to believe now, but Erin O'Connor never thought she was beautiful. Born in 1978 in a small English town, she was tall, thin, pale, with dark hair, nothing like the girls in magazines. At school, she stood out and got bullied for being different. She didn't want attention, she just wanted to disappear. Raised in a strict Catholic family, Erin learned to stay quiet and out of trouble. Modeling or fashion, that wasn't even a dream. It felt impossible. She was the shy girl, not the one on the runway, but life had other plans, and soon everything changed.
Because for me, I feel more feminine with short hair. I feel more sexy with short hair. When I have long hair, I look like a witch. I'm like Morticia.
One afternoon in Birmingham, 17-year-old Erin was just blending in, not looking for anything special. But a scout from a local modeling agency saw her. He noticed her sharp cheekbones and unique beauty, things no one else saw. At first, Erin thought it was a joke, but inside, something clicked. Maybe being different wasn't a problem, but a gift. She said yes, nervous but curious. It set off a chain reaction that would take her far beyond Birmingham, far beyond anything she ever imagined. And from that point on, Erin O'Connor wasn't just stepping into a new world, she was about to rewrite the rules of it.
Hello, my name's Erin.
Erin's first shoots were awkward. She didn't know how to pose and felt out of place. But the camera loved her, even when she didn't know what she was doing. Soon, big fashion names in London, Paris, and Milan started noticing. Erin wasn't the usual model. Her pale skin, strong features, and intense gaze were fresh and different. She wasn't trying to fit in, she was breaking the mold. Designers like Jean-Paul Gaultier and Alexander McQueen didn't just book her, they celebrated her. They saw power in her before she fully did. They saw in her what she hadn't fully seen in herself yet, power. But it wasn't easy. Backstage at shows, she'd still hear the whispers. Too pale, too edgy, too weird. It stung, but Erin learned to hold her head high and own the runway.
It's not like we're mannequin dolls that can move. We all have our own personalities, and hopefully when a designer knows you well enough, he interprets that with the clothes that he chooses to put on each individual form.
As Erin's face hit big fashion magazines, her world sped up too fast to handle. One week she was in London, the next in Tokyo. Her passport filled up before her emotions had time to catch up. And somewhere in the flashing cameras and the whispered praise, Erin started to disappear. She was only 17. Agents controlled her schedule, diet, and image. On the outside, it looked like a dream. Inside, she was falling apart. The pressure was brutal. Lose 5 pounds by next week. Don't smile with your teeth. Be edgy, but not too edgy. She barely ate, swapping meals for coffee. Took sleeping pills just to get a little rest. Her skin was raw, her hair thin from constantly styling.
You worry how many people there are out there that are suffering and they're not quite sure what's happening to them, and they're not accessible. They don't have the accessibility to available treatment.
But the worst was loneliness. Surrounded by people, yet so alone. No family, no real friends. Just managers and stylists with their own goals. In hotel rooms between shoots, she'd sit on the floor with her knees pulled to her chest, just trying to feel something, anything. At one point, she kept a notebook, not for fashion notes or ideas, but to write down the things that made her feel human. Once she wrote, "Today I had strawberries, real ones. They tasted like childhood." Fame came with a heavy price, and Erin was paying it in silence. But the public didn't see any of this. They saw a rising star, a girl who broke barriers, a runway rebel. No one asked if she was okay, and in a world that worships perfection, Erin was starting to come undone.
If you just get your nose reduced, you'll work. If you just get your breasts expanded, you'll work. And of course, that hit me with forceful impact.
The industry had worn her down, and the media was ready to tear her apart. Rumors started, blogs guessing about her weight, missed shoots, even fake stories about her storming off a runway or collapsing backstage. None were true, but that didn't matter. Sensation sold. Headlines got cruel. Erin O'Connor's downfall? From fashion darling to problem? Paparazzi began showing up outside her apartment in New York. They followed her to the castings, to cafes, even to the pharmacy. Every image they captured was sold to gossip sites. They weren't looking for the glow-up. They were waiting for the breakdown.
And it's important that we remember what it's all about. And tonight, hopefully, we'll achieve great things and allow young people to grow up into adulthood and make the most of their circumstances.
Social media turned harsh. Fans guessed, critics mocked. Some said she looked washed out. Others called her ungrateful. But no one really knew what Erin was going through, not even Erin. She just felt like she couldn't breathe. The noise was too loud, the pressure too heavy. So one day, she disappeared. No announcements, no goodbyes. She shut off her phone, deleted social media, canceled everything. Jobs, interviews, even therapy. People tried to reach her. The industry whispered rumors. But Erin was gone. One of fashion's brightest stars vanished, quickly replaced by the next hopeful. But Erin wasn't finished. She was healing. When she returned, she would be changed, completely on her own terms.
And I suppose the thinner you are, the better you look, the better a model might find her chances are of becoming successful. It's an opportunity to become the best.
By the early 2000s, Erin O'Connor was more than just a model. She had become a symbol of change. The fashion world, known for strict beauty rules, was starting to notice someone different. Erin was admired not only for her looks, but for her professionalism, intelligence, and bold style. What made her stand out was her raw authenticity. Unlike many models who relied solely on glamour, Erin's presence carried a powerful sense of storytelling. She didn't just model clothes, she embodied them, making each designer's vision come alive with a depth that few could match. Her runway wasn't just about flashy moves, it was confident and graceful, catching the eye of top designers like Alexander McQueen, Vivienne Westwood, and John Galliano. Erin became their muse, inspiring bold new collections.
It's just the eyes and the glances and the crestfallen faces that say, oh, it's your fault, not ours.
But Erin did more than model. She spoke out on impossible body standards and mental health, kicking off talks about diversity in fashion. On covers, she mixed elegance with edge, proving style can be both glamorous and unique. Erin didn't follow trends, she shaped them, showing that real supermodels have character, integrity, and the courage to change the game. In the mid-2000s, she became a fashion journalist and presenter, using her platform to expose industry issues like fast fashion's impact and model well-being. She co-founded Next Generation, a modeling agency focused on diversity and care, and stepped into sustainable fashion design. Erin proved that a model doesn't just wear the clothes, she can change the system. And that's exactly what she did.
And I think it's been brilliant because I think I want to explore the beauty of diversity. So we've had some great models on the catwalk, it's been their debut.
Erin O'Connor never set out to revolutionize anything. She was just a quiet child from a small town who happened to be tall and different looking. But sometimes the people who don't quite fit anywhere end up creating their own space entirely. She stayed herself, spoke up when it mattered, and turned her differences into her strength. Erin proved that sometimes not fitting in is exactly what the world needs.